Let's make some cute St. Patrick's Day decor with our Cricut. Hello, I am Katie from the craftyblogStalker.com, and if you're new to my videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Here are all the supplies that we're going to be using, and I will have a supply list with shoppable links either in the description of this video or in the blog post. And this project is sponsored by Cricut, so all of the Cricut supplies that you'll see me using today were supplied by Cricut. Thanks, Cricut. We're going to start with our shadow box frame, and this is an 8x8 shadow box frame that I purchased off of Amazon. And I want to take off this back, and we need to measure. Now, this is an 8x8 frame, but if you look with my ruler, that is before this little lip. So we need to measure inside the lip. Now, this was a little difficult with my ruler, so what I ended up doing was taking an 8x8 piece of cardstock, and then I just slowly kept cutting it down until it fit perfectly inside my frame. And so what this paper ended up being was 7 5/8. So now I know what I need to size my project at. Now I'm going to go to Cricut Design Space, and I am on my tablet. So if you are on Cricut Design Space on a computer, it will look a little bit different, but the functions are all the same. So I'm going to go to my stuff, my projects, where I already have this lucky layered rainbow ready to go. And I will make this available for everyone to use. You will need Cricut Access, which is either a monthly or yearly subscription, so you can access most everything on Cricut Design Space without having to purchase each individual little file. Monthly is $9.99 and yearly is $95.88. So it's a great deal, especially if you can sign up for the yearly access. You save even more. I'm going to go ahead and click on my project, and I am going to customize, because remember, I need to size. Here is our lucky layered rainbow project, and I want to highlight the entire design, so I'm going to bring up layers just so I can see them all and make sure that they are all highlighted. Then I'm going to come over here to edit, and I'm going to change them to 7.625. I'm going to click on make it, and then I'm brought to my matte preview, and here I can see the different mattes and the color of cardstock I need to load. And here on my green mat, I'm going to take that shamrock and just move it by highlighting it and dragging it where I want, just to save a little bit of paper. And now all of my mats are ready to cut. Click on next. And I'm going to set my material at the 80-pound cardstock. And I want to remember my material settings so I don't have to reset this with every mat. And whenever I cut paper, I always like to change the pressure to more, just to make sure I get a really nice cut. I'm going to be cutting all of my paper on the green standard grip mat. The papers that I'm going to be cutting are all Cricut, and I love these pastel colors. These come from the Pastel sampler pack that comes actually with 6 colors. You also get a blue and an orange, but we are only going to be using the yellow, purple, pink, and green from the sampler pack, and then just some white cardstock. I'm going to follow the prompts in Cricut Design Space to tell me what color of cardstock to load. And mat number 1 is white. And when applying paper to the mat, I always turn it sideways. And I pretty much just line my paper up along this corner. And then press it down. The load light is blinking, so I can load my mat and paper. And I am just using the fine point blade that comes with the machine. I'm going to go ahead and click on start. This was a simple square cut, so we're going to go ahead and unload. And to remove the paper from the mat, we're going to turn the mat over, and we're going to peel the mat from the paper instead of the paper from the mat. This will make it so your material does not curl when removing it from the mat. Mat number 2 is also white, pink, yellow, green, and purple. When you're all done cutting, make sure to put the protective sheet back onto your mat to keep it sticky for longer. We've got all of our pieces cut out, so now we can begin layering and assembling. And just so we can get a good idea of what it's gonna look like, let's put all the layers together. And there's our lucky rainbow. And of course, this little shamrock will go tucked inside. To layer them, we are going to use some foam adhesive squares to give a little bit of dimension between each layer. So let's start at the top. I'm gonna flip that over so I have the back side facing up. Push those down into place and then just peel off that backing, that blue backing, to reveal the sticky. Then we're going to take this yellow piece. I'm going to try not to get in the camera, but we just want that to be on as straight as possible. Okay, so there's one layer. And then we're going to do that again. And I'm also going to put another foam dot on top of those that are exposed. Then we're going to do the same thing with the next layer. Trying to get that on as square as possible. And then repeat with the foam squares. Add another foam square to the ones around the words. Take our next layer. And since we're doing the green layer next, we took off all of the little covers, even around the words. Oh, that's looking so good. And then we have our white layer, our last layer, and place our stack on top of that last white piece. That is so cute. Then we need one more foam square for the back of our shamrock here. I'm going to cut this in half. That turned out so cute. I'm going to bring in the frame and pick up our layered artwork here and push that in gently. To fill the rest of the frame, I just cut some cardboard pieces that I can slide in there to keep some pressure against that layered art to keep it at the front of the frame. Then we can bring our frame backing pieces in. Press those down tight. And our St. Patrick's Day decor is ready to hang. Isn't that so cute? Oh my gosh, I am in love with how well that turned out. And because this is a thicker frame, you can even just set it on a shelf like this as well. So no need to hang. It can hang or sit. So cute. If you want more fun craft tutorials, make sure to check out my website, thecraftyblogstalker.com. Thanks everyone. Bye and happy crafting.